Welcome back to the Chad Hasty Show on News Talk 95.1 FM and 790 AM KFYO. Joining us on the phones right now as we are just 6 days away from the election, RNC Senior Communications Advisor, Paris Dennard. Paris, welcome to the Chad Hasty Show. Good morning. How are you today?
I'm energized and happy to be with you on this program and excited about where we are on the campaign trail.
Well, we're 6 days away from the election. How do you see things going right now? How is the battle plan moving forward for Election Day?
You know what? I think that we have nothing but momentum and enthusiasm on our side, on the Trump side. It is really exciting and uplifting to see the crowds of people who are braving the rain and the cold and all of the different elements to come out and see and support this president. We've seen Operation Maga, which is what we called it, in full force with the First Lady campaigning, the Vice President, the Second Lady, all of the president's children out there, Tiffany and Eric and Don Jr. and his daughter-in-law Laura Trump, as well as Ivanka Trump, out there campaigning with a whole host of other surrogates like myself, aggressively crisscrossing the country to get out the vote. And that's how you win elections. You don't win elections by sitting in your basement or having a select few events with a few people. You have to go out there, pound the pavement, get out the vote, knock on doors safely, do phone banking to make sure that your supporters are going to vote for you. And that's exactly what we're doing. And it's been really thrilling to see the response the president continues to get us.
Paris, it's been pretty well noted in the media that the Democrats are spending a lot of money, just a ton of money on this election and have outraised the president and the RNC. How is the RNC battling back? I know early on, at least, the Democrats weren't knocking on doors. They weren't really getting out into the community. I'm not sure if that's still the case or not, but I know Republicans have been doing that for a while now.
Yeah, I think the important thing to remember is that the RNC with the Trump campaign, we call it Trump Victory, because of our donors, our amazing, amazing donors, have raised record amounts of money. And what we've been able to do is make early investments in data infrastructure and online tools and training modules so that we can be able to train thousands of volunteers. And we have a ground game, which is superior to anything that Joe Biden's team has put together, and it's been there for several months. And that's the important difference. They may be spending a lot of money right now on advertising and commercials and things like that. But what we have done is we made early investments so that we had staff on the ground, so that we were training different people to be effective to get out the vote. And we're seeing the ramifications of that in a positive way in terms of registering voters to vote. We've been doing all of these things. And so remember back in 2016, and I know it's hard to go back because people just think that it was so long ago, but remember President Trump was outspent by Hillary Clinton in 2016, and he still was able to get the job done. And just with 6 days out, we have over 2,000 staffers on the ground in these different battleground states. And just to give you some hard numbers, just remember this. We have trained or recruited 2.5 million volunteers, 171,000 volunteer voter registration, and we have done 156 million voter contacts this cycle. That is what our money has done, and that is something that Joe Biden can't make up right now. And then when you look at the different rallies, remember these key factors. Just go back to the one we had in Omaha just recently. 43,000 signups. This is what the chairwoman, Ronna McDaniel, tweeted out. 40,000 not Republican. 40% not Republican. 24% did not vote in 2016. That shows you the true intensity and the bandwidth that we have, the growth, the openness, the diversity of what President Trump is assembling moving into this final stretch.
visiting with Paris Dennard. Paris, before I let you go, I want to ask you, we talked about this in the last hour of the show, that it seems like so much of the poll, it's like a reflection of 2016. We're looking in a mirror of 2016
right.
because there's a headline on Drudge today that The Economist says Trump only has a 4% chance of winning. I'm old enough to remember when Hillary Clinton had a 96% chance of winning the presidency back in 2016. Do you think the polls, I mean, are they this wrong once again? I mean, what are they missing out there that you guys are seeing different, maybe with some internal polls?
Where the polls are missing is they're not looking at, a lot of times they're not looking at likely voters. But the other thing is that there's still a silent majority. Again, well, you've seen the cancel culture. You've seen how hostile the media and people have been with people coming out saying they're supporting the president. And a lot of people aren't going to say it publicly because they want to have a livelihood. They want to have a business. And when we go door to door, we see what people are saying to us. And there's a lot of people who aren't being polled. A lot of first-time voters, a lot of minority voters are not traditional voters and that are in this opportunity to get polled. And we are on the ground. And that's why we have the benefit of being on the ground, and we are seeing the results and seeing the impact. So I think it's a lot of undecided voters that are – because, look, if you're an undecided voter right now, you're not waiting on this to vote Biden. You're looking for a concrete reason to solidify your opinion that President Trump deserves a second term, or you're not going to vote at all.
Yeah.
But Joe Biden is not going to inspire you when he's talking about raising taxes, eliminating the oil and gas industry, getting rid of fracking, having open borders, and being against charter schools. He still has not done anything in these final stretch. He's not even campaigning to get those undecideds to come over to his team. President Trump is doing that, and I think that's going to make the difference.
Yeah, absolutely. Paris, wish y'all the best of luck. Appreciate you taking some time to join us today, and good luck here in 6 days.
Thank you so much for having me. Hope everyone turns out to vote.
All right. Thank you. That's Paris Dennard, Senior RNC Communications Advisor.